Hey everyone, it's Jerry back, second day of the straw bale garden preparation. Today we're going to put fertilizer down. The first thing we do, 7 or 8 days, I'll have to check to be sure exactly how many days we do it, but it's the 3400 fertilizer. Basically it's just a lawn fertilizer that you use to prep the bales for the first few days. I've already put I've done a couple of these bales, and I don't know if this camera will pick it up. Hopefully it will. You take 1/2 a cup of that 3400 fertilizer and spread it evenly across the top of the bales, and try to get every bit of the surface covered some. It's not rocket science, but the better you do it, the better off your results are going to be for sure. So we've just taken a 1/2 a cup and spread out on the bales. Any kind of container will work. I don't wear gloves, but you can certainly wear gloves while you're doing it. So this is where we're at. A couple of things I want to go over about our garden. We've got poles, as you can see, on either end of the rows, and plus one in the middle. You don't have to have those. We just did it to keep everything together, to keep the bales from sliding around, that sort of thing. Once they start composting, they are going to get a little smaller in size, so we went with the poles just to keep everything tight, keep it together. We've got wire tied to each end, obviously, to keep it together. On these taller ones, this is where we grew like our tomatoes, cucumbers, anything that was going to bind and get tall, and that way it's a support system for the plants, just to have something to hold on to. We still do the tomato cages for our tomatoes, but everything else just pretty much free. Just let them grow where they are. We did green beans on this type, and what I did, I just got some twine and tied twine up and down here, so just something extra for the vines to grab a hold of. Again, you don't have to do any of this. This is just something extra we wanted to do. We thought it would help out a little bit. So. Any kind of container will work for your fertilizer. My wife made a 1/2 a cup mark in here for me to see. This is what the fertilizer looks like, just regular lawn fertilizer. And what you want to do, again, just make sure you spread it evenly across the whole top of the bale. Again, running up all along the sides as well, not just the middle, but on the sides as well. We absolutely were thrilled with last year's results. We were anxious and planning all winter how we were going to do this one, things that we could do differently. I hope that you all have as much success and as much fun when you do your straw bale garden as we did. If time or space is if space is an issue, you don't have to do a 20-yard straw bale garden or a 40 or a 60. Get you 3 or 4 straw bales, whatever you have room. If you don't have a yard really that you can put in, you have a patio that you have some sunlight coming down on it, grab 2 or 3 bales and throw out there and plant you some vegetables or something. It really is an amazing process how it all works. So don't let limited space stop you. Get a couple bales and try it. I think you'll be pleased with the outcome, and the process really too is pretty fun. I love being outdoors, so this is a good way to enjoy the outdoors for sure. Last year, in our straw bale garden, the only thing that we put plants, everything that we grew from seed, with the exception of tomatoes, and we had bought some tomato plants and put in the bales. This year, we're not even going to do that. We're just going to go seeds with everything. We are starting the seeds indoors, just because we want to get a jump on the growing. But you don't have to do that either. You can plant the seeds right in the straw bale. That's what we did last year. You can actually just poke your finger in. Once this thing starts composting, it'll get warm in the middle, and it's really pretty soft and pretty easy to do. But you'll just poke your finger down, drop your seed in, and that's all you need to do. I don't know if it was old school or what, but to me it just felt weird not having some kind of dirt or something in there. We use potting soil. I poked my hole in the straw bale, threw a little potting soil in, and put the seed in there. I think maybe it was just because I didn't understand how it would work without having some kind of dirt in there. But you don't have to do that. We just did it. Had great success that way. So we'll do that again if we do anything straight from seeds. We'll do that with the potting soil. Otherwise, we'll just drop the little plants in with a bit of potting soil and take off from there. So, but I'm going to spread just a couple of more, and then what I'll do, I'll bring the hose over, and we'll water the bales that I've got soaked or got fertilized already. That way, we won't have to be doing 2 or 3 videos. I'm going to grab the garden hose and we'll soak down a few of these so you can see how we do that. Again, very simple. Want to soak the bales down really well. Get them soaking so that water's actually coming out the sides and the bottom. They suggest that you get you some 5-gallon buckets or some kind of large container that you can store the water in. That way you're not putting it cold water like I'm doing out of the faucet. We watered all last year with the faucet, even in the preparation for the bales. It may slow down the process a little, I read. So that's entirely up to you. I may later on get a bunch of buckets so we can have a little bit warmer water to put on there. I'm impatient a lot of the times, so if it slows things down, I'm all for trying to make it faster. So, but as far as hurting, I can't say that it did last year because it's the first time we did it, but we used straight from the garden hose. And don't really know if it slowed it down or not because, again, it's the first year. So the main thing is just get a good soaking on your bales. Don't be shy with the water. I will probably run soaker hoses this year. It'll just be a lot easier where I just turn one faucet on, one spigot on, and have hoses all hooked up and spread out, instead of just coming out and taking 25-30 minutes watering the bales individually. So, but that's just a process. That's kind of what's in my mind for the next few days. As far as regular maintenance on the thing, once you're up and growing, you'll water it just like you do a conventional garden. So there's nothing special that you have to do to these once you get them up and going. Pretty simple. All right, y'all, I am going to turn the camera off. I'll carry on here getting fertilizer spread and getting these bales watered. Tomorrow will be just, if I'm not mistaken, just a watering day. And I do promise sometime today I'll get you the title of that book that we bought and the author's name so you can look it up. Really a lot of information in there. One of the benefits of putting this garden fabric down that we have in place, when you're watering, you don't have to worry about stepping in mud and being in all that sort of stuff. So it was really just, you certainly don't have to do it this way. We just did it because we didn't want to have to walk in mud and dirt. Plus, weed eating and trying to mow between the bales, it was a little tough. So, and believe me, if I can make it easy for myself, I'm gonna do it. All right, y'all, I'm going to do 2 more bales here, then I'm going to shut it off. Hope you are enjoying what you're seeing. I hope it's somewhat informative. If you like the video, please hit like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would appreciate that. At some point, I'm going to get my lovely wife on video here. She's my inspiration. She's a lovely gal. And we'll have more of Mimosa when she's out running around. That's our Great Dane. You probably saw her on a couple of the videos already. All right, y'all. We'll see you after a while.